I tried to show my young daughter 8½. She's now 17. At the age of 16, I said, I have to show you 8½, because it's very important to me in 1963 when I first saw it. But then I realized that I couldn't just show her 8½. It wouldn't mean anything in terms of style. I had to start somewhere else. So I started with La Strada, which is the film I first saw of Fellini's, and then showed her La Strada, Nights of Cabiria, La Dolce Vita, then 8½. And next I'll show her Satyricon and move on up. So you can see the work and the journey of one artist on using film and cinema as his tool.
And what did you want to tell her? I mean, the film speaks for itself about La Strada.
In a sense, it's the poetry of the picture, the warmth, the power of it. It's the road of life, the famous Fellini road of life. Everyone walking on that road at the end, winding up at the seashore.
Yeah. But the tension between the fool and the character
in terms of that, that's what I love the character of the brutal character played by Anthony Quinn, who loves but can't express it. If he can express, it's through brutality. And the wonderful character of the fool, played by Richard Basehart, who always goes a step too far, and another step too far, teasing Zampano, and eventually it's his undoing. And in a way, they're like archetypical of people. In a way, they're almost abstractions of certain kinds of people. In my films later, went more towards the fool. I found the characters like in Johnny Boy and Mean Streets pushing all the time, you know, and knowing he's going to get hurt, but still can't help pushing just a little further. You know?
Let me roll tape. La Strada, Federico Fellini.
Cosa che sei, Zampano? Ya stai lavorando, io ho godito me.
Lei lavora solo con me.
Zon zon. Scusate, ma non vi capisco. Io vi ho cercato e eravate in città, se no ve lo avrei detto prima. Cosa che siete mai? Si lavora tutti quanti insieme.
Con quello lì non lavora.
Zon zon.
Senti tu la piazza.
Ah, io con te non parlo, eh? L'hai detto te che non devo parlare e io non parlo.
Gelsomina, va di là da mia moglie, adesso che parlo mio.
Ma tu stai qui. Quello che deve fare lei ce lo dico io. Ma se io dico che non ci deve lavorare con quel vagabondo, tu non ci devi lavorare.
Ma perché?
Perché io voglio così. Perché voglio così. E se ti vedo un'altra volta vicino a questo...
Zampano! Zampano, se lo stava in matto! Goffredo! Nazareno! Fermei chi si compa! Corri, fa presto, Paolo, che io sono una bestia! Maledetti sti vagabondi zingari!
Zampano! E che al corteo!
Sta buona, Gelsomina. Adesso gli ferma. Maria Vergine benedetta.
When he poured the water on you, said,
yes, well,
that's classic.
It's a classic, classic move in a character like that. I knew a lot of... I guess I know a lot of people, and sometimes I'm that way myself, so it's...
Yes. I Vitelloni, this is... What influence did it have on you? This is the next film we're going to see of Fellini's as a filmmaker. Did it do anything to make you want to be a movie maker?
Well, I Vitelloni was meaning the wastrels, or the guys who just... fellows who just hang out.
Right.
Really, these are 32-year-old guys who still live at their mothers.
Sounds
Sounds
like Mean Streets
to
me.
Sounds like Mean, exactly. And when I saw it after La Strada. Actually, I think it was made before La Strada, though.
Yeah.
And the combination of the lifestyle, showing these five guys in the small town of Rimini, which is his hometown, really was kind of an autobiographical film of his. That and the humor of it was very important. Alberto Sordi and the type of humor they had, which was very much the street humor that I grew up with. And I went to look at the film and I began to realize that I was aiming towards making pictures about my friends and myself anyway, but that was it. When I finally saw I Vitelloni, I said, well, that's the only way.
You were confirmed in your own instincts.
Absolutely. I mean, if he could do it about Rimini, I could do it about Elizabeth Street.
Yeah.
And also, I Vitelloni finds its way into Goodfellas, too.
Yes.
They introduce the characters the same way. There's lots of new techniques used, and the relationships of the people to their parents and to the girlfriends and the marriage, all of that meant it was very, very close to the world I grew up in.
Quello è un sozzone, uno sporcaccione. Sarebbe come se uno di voi si mettesse con mia sorella.
Io con tua sorella mi ci metterei volentieri.
Basta!
Alberto, a me.
Prendano anche in
Dai, Nattone, a nord.
La palla a nord, dai, a nord.
Uscita!
Ma no, Alberto, dai, lasciala stare. Tu non sta bene. Ma tutte le sere con la povera mia.
Oh!
spero venti, ma molti oh, chi è che butta si conventi, ma molti.
E adesso che altro potremo fare? Anche questa giornata è finita e non ci resta che tornare a casa come tutte le sere.
Boy, that doesn't remind you of Mean Streets.
That is
last
Mean Streets,
scene.
yes,
Yeah.
I know. And the voiceover.
Yes.
The voiceover.
Let me talk about La Dolce Vita. I want to get all these in before we talk about 8.5. Why is that the most famous, it seems? Was it
Well,
because of the subject matter and what?
I think number one, certainly the subject matter of the film.
Right.
It depicted a lifestyle that people really hadn't shown before.
Right.
It was certainly racy for the time. Still is in a way. You know, it still is. It was condemned, I think, by the church.
Yeah, it was.
It caused quite a stir. And yet there are, well, from the very first image of the statue of Jesus being flown, a helicopter has a rope under the arms of Jesus' arms outstretched, and the helicopter's flying with the statue below it.
Mm-hmm.
And they buzzed a rooftop. Some women are nude sunbathing. And the statue of Jesus goes over them. And right there, from the opening of the film, you begin to realize that this is the symbolism.
Yes.
Is going to be very, very strong. And the film is episodic. It's episodic and just really goes through and analyzes a life where the values are gone, a lifestyle where the values are nothing.
Fellini was not a very religious man.
Not really.
I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, you are.
Yeah.
I mean, you have an enormous sense of your
Yes.
Catholic roots. In fact, you thought about being a priest.
Yes, but he's Italian, though. In Italy, there's a special relationship, I think, with the church.
Yes,
as you know, he was there in the church in Piazza del Popolo. They had the body there, and he was buried with full honors and with the church. Even though they may have condemned some of his films, they pointed out that he listened to different voices, they said.
Yes.
You know?
All right. Here it is. La Dolce Vita.
My goodness.
Sì, Silvia, vengo anch'io. Vengo anch'io. Ma sì, ha ragione lei, sto sbagliando tutto. Stiamo sbagliando tutto. Silvia. Silvia, ma chi sei?
Listen.
Silvia.
You said as we were watching that he loved to stir it up.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
did.
he was
He
a
liked
troublemaker. He knew what he was doing, and he knew this was tweaking the church and tweaking the people.
Yeah. And he gets you talking about it. I mean, the film is it really is a very moral film,
Yes.
La Dolce Vita. And it's about the loss of innocence, and it examines that lifestyle. It also examines, where Italy is at that time, 1959.
Yeah.
It's really quite extraordinary. And
The
then, of course,
decadence and the rest
the
of it.
decadence, yeah.
8.5. His most personal film?
On the surface, I think.
Yeah.
You see, I think his films were all extremely personal, but I Vitelloni is certainly even his brother is acting in it too. But 8.5, I mean, La Dolce Vita was the set piece. It was 3 hours long. There were episodes, there was no story, and there was a major break with a major stylistic break with his previous films, Nights of Cabiria, I Vitelloni, Il Bidone, and La Strada. So when he made 8.5, he went about 10 light years further. More than anybody else, I think. I think the only other person, there's a number of great filmmakers, but Ingmar Bergman's Persona is the other film where when he made Persona, he jumped to another level, another perception.